Hey everybody, welcome to Scubber Creations. My name is Gareth and this is my little corner of the internet, playing my food. I'm going to say welcome, I should say welcome back I hope. So I hope you'll manage to catch the video yesterday, or if you haven't, you can always go back and watch it, I don't mind. And that's going to give us that lamb that we made, that braised kind of rosemary and garlic lamb has given us this wonderful leftovers to use. So now we're going to make a lamb, spinach and feta pasty. It's quite a mouthful that. And it is quite a mouthful when it's done as well. It's pretty nice. So we're going to start really simply and we're going to head straight over to the hob for once. So see you over there. Excellent. So the very first thing we're going to do over here is we're going to toast those pine nuts. So you want 20 grams of pine nuts and then just a hot dry frying pan. Just want to whack them in. And all we're going to do is keep tossing them around a bit. And just keep them warming through until you start to see them sort of colouring on the sides. Once that's done, we're done. So, should be a couple of minutes or so. Right, so they're all nice and toasted now. We can turn them off. And hopefully you'll be able to see, if I can do a little close-up. They've all kind of like got this slightly browned edge to them. You won't get all of them because you're never going to be able to individually turn each one. But you just want to pop them out and we can save them. Now, don't know why I really turned it off, but we want that back on and we're going to put some spinach in. So you're going to want a 200 gram bag of spinach. We're just going to pop that in. We're going to let that wilt right down. So we just want to kind of toss it around a little bit until it's all wilted. It always looks like there's so much in those bags. And when you put it in the thing, you're like, how's that going to feed 2 people? But it's going to feed 8. But it's going to wilt so much down. And we're going to then squeeze all the moisture out. So you can end up with not huge amounts of it, but they'll all spread nicely throughout. There we go, lovely. All really kind of nicely wilted down. So we can just take that now over to the chopping boards and start putting everything together. Because we've cooked all the lamb already, it's really that simple. Okay, so now that's cooked off the ingredients we need, we can just head straight to making the kind of filling for these pasties. And you're going to want your lamb. So you're going to want 150 grams of what was left of yesterday's lamb. And we're just going to give that a little chop up because we don't want huge lumps in here. We just want nice little bits, you know, bite-sized pieces. So you can give it a real rough chop. Here we go. That's all it needed. Lovely. So then we can pop them in our bowl. And then we just add in. So pine nuts that we toasted, whack in there. I'm going to leave the spinach till last just so it cools down a bit because we're going to want to squeeze it. But then the next thing you're going to need is feta cheese. Probably should use a different knife. So you're going to want half a pack, you know, these standard size packs, about 200 grams. So you want 100 grams of feta cheese. And we're just going to chop that in half. And then just break it up gradually in there. So just pop some little nuggets in. Like I say, that will melt down when it's cooking, so it'll melt all through the lamb. You'll get all this beautiful, lovely kind of flavour of that slightly salty cheese all the way through it. There we go, so cheese is in there. Now with any luck, this is, cool enough to handle. You just want to squeeze as much of the liquid out as you can. Oh, almost got cramp in my hand there. It's so cold at the moment. Once done, we're going to chop it. So, try not to squirt it all over the side. And there we go. We're done. There's quite a lot of liquid in there. Perfect. So then just, chop it up to like little small bits. Excellent. Now, just pop it in. And then give it a really good mix around. So you're getting you're not seeing any huge lumps of kind of lamb or, without any of the other ingredients around it. And it will help break up that spinach. That's really nicely mixed in now. We're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. It's one thing you always add, always forget. But I'll be honest with you, I've actually recorded this little section 2 times now and completely forgot to put the salt and pepper in. So we put a pinch of salt, a couple of grinds of black pepper in. Perfect. And then we can just give that a quick mix up and then put it to the side. Give this area a little clean down because now we're going to start rolling out some pastry. So I'll do that. See you in a sec. Okay, so now we're ready to put it all together. So get yourself some plain flour and dust your surface. Oh, I always put out way too much. It's okay, we can just move it to the edges a little bit. And then short crust pastry for these. I always love pasties and pies. For me, I like a puff pastry top on a pie, but short crust just does it better for me. On that, it's harder. It means you can carry it around, especially something like a pasty. You want to be able to carry it. You don't want it falling apart. So you're going to want 400 grams of short crust pastry. So that's a 500 gram block. So we'll take that much off. And then all you're going to do is roll this out. So you want to cut it in 2 because you're making 2. Unless you aren't making 2, unless you're just making 1, in which case half the amount, just 1. And then roll each one out into a disc about sort of 8 inches in diameter. Excellent. So there's my 2 little pastry discs, roughly 8 inches in diameter. Please no jokes about the fact that I'm a guy estimating size. I'm getting all sorts of trouble for that. But all we're going to do now is just fill these up. So you want to grab good lumps and get them in the middle and kind of create almost like rugby ball shaped middle bits to it. And that will allow you to pull the sides up over the top. Going to be really generous with these. There we go. Give them a nice squeeze because that way, like when you're trapping the pastry around the outside, you don't want air. So you don't want to bring air in that mixture either. So give them a squeeze. It'll just make it easier to fold them over as well. Okay, so we can throw that out the way. Now we're just going to water the edges slightly. And that will just give us something where, we can stick the pastry together. I've tried using egg to do it before, but I don't have any luck with it. I tend to get kind of little bubbles forming when it's cooking and it just opens up. So I'm sticking with water. And then you've got a choice really. You can go either apparently the Devon or the Cornwall way. So you can either fold them over and end up with these kind of nice half moon shaped ones, or you can fold them up and meet them in the middle. I tend to fold them up and meet them in the middle. I'm not sure whether that is the Devon way or the Cornwall way. Please, if you know in the comments, let me know. It would actually be quite useful. So all I'm going to do, fold them up, pinch it together all the way along, and then we'll give it a little crimp. So I just run my fingers down essentially like that all the way down. That gives you that nice little crimped edge. Brilliant, all done. So now what's left to do, grab yourself a baking tray, and I always like to put a little bit of vegetable oil on the bottom. I find you get a much crisper base to it that way. I've seen people use egg, but then I find it sticks. So we're going to just drizzle a little bit of vegetable oil, probably only a teaspoon's worth. Just smear that out. And then we can pop our pasties on. And at this point, you don't need to cook them straight away. You can just put those in the fridge and cook them later on. No problems at all. It work really well like that. Or if you really wanted to, you could freeze them like that. Not a problem. So once we got that, making a right old mess everywhere, we're going to need to egg wash the top. And that kind of you always need. Just gives you that really lovely kind of golden crispy crunch to it all. So get some good old egg wash all over that top. All that's left to do now is get those in the oven, 180 degrees C for 40 minutes. And they're going to come out crispy and brown and really, really tasty. So I'll pop them in and I'll see you when they're done. Okay, 40 minutes later, let's see what we got. Hopefully these are pretty good. Oh yes, that'll do. Oh, we've got a slight bit of leakage out the top of one of them. It's bubbled out like a little fountain. That's why I really like doing actually the crimp along the top, is because yes, some has leaked out, but it's only a very small amount because it's got further to go. I've found when I do crimps around the sides, that's when you're in a bit more danger. So they are looking really, really good. Awesome. So yeah, apart from that little bit of leakage, but I always said on this channel, I wasn't going to fake stuff. That's what I've cooked. That's what you're going to see. So let's go place it up. So there we go. Comes off so easy, just with that little bit of vegetable oil. And that is an absolutely dinner-worthy plate of food. So I love this because it's using that lamb from yesterday. And without that lamb from yesterday, it would not be as good. All of that garlic and the rosemary and stuff is just adding so much to it. And it's an absolute cracker, but it bears no resemblance. So that's my favourite part about this. So I love these. What we'll do quickly is just show you the inside. And there we go. You can see in there that really good mix of the lamb, spinach, and that feta, just giving it that kind of sauce to it. A lovely, lovely plate of leftovers. And again, just so different, so delicious. I really hope you're enjoying this. I mean, I know it's only like the first day of the leftovers, but if you're enjoying it so far, if you could drop us a like or a subscription. I mean, if you subscribe, it will help you know when the next ones are coming out, which will be tomorrow and the day after. But if you can drop us a like, it would just help me get out there. And I'm really enjoying doing this. We'll see what I feel like in a few days' time. This might be a bit much, but we'll give it a go and we'll keep enjoying it. So I hope you give it a go. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you tomorrow.